Oh, well, I just put a bit of a fleece on. I was sat in just a t-shirt. I thought the temperature feels like it's starting to drop. So yeah, fleece on just in case it gets cold. So I don't know if there was much fishing going on the weekend. I haven't heard a lot of reports coming in. I had a quick look around and Rockborne seems to be doing okay. And I think Neil Perry and Ian, I think they're off to Rockborne on Saturday after Andy's funeral. So yeah, that'll be. So I think there'll be a big crowd at the funeral on Friday. So I think it's about the same distance for me as Diva, so about a 2 hour run for about 11 o'clock ish. So I'm going to be driving down at 8:09, so I could be in traffic, couldn't I? So whether I'll need to go down a little bit earlier, I don't know. I might have to go down a little bit earlier, stop for a Scooby snack and a coffee or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, I think firstly, guys, Testwood Saturday. Yeah, brilliant. I'll go through the sort of full day. Whoop, bump my knee. What have we got there? AM 1780. Hi Martin. Hello mate. Steve Smith, Steve the Curry. He's there. Is Rockborne any good in the sun and the heat? I think it's okay. Yeah, the fish, are not going to be running around like winter fish, but they've got a big aerator there, and they've got another one in Bridge Lake as well. So no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It will fish a little bit slower, but change your methods, indicators, buzzers, great for those for those warm conditions. Get there first thing. Perhaps try and get a few fish early. All right, don't turn up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon when it's 30 degrees. So get there early. I think on a hot day, summer day, yeah, you don't plan to be there too long. But don't forget dry flies. Rockborne, it's they do catch on dry flies. Mike New, yeah, evening Martin, hello mate. I hope all doing well. Enjoyed your Testwood video. Yeah, thanks mate, Yeah, I tell you what I keep doing when my battery runs out. So I probably go through about 4 in a day. I've got 6 batteries. That's a little charger unit there. That takes 3. Look, okay, that's a battery. So every time I change the battery in my GoPro, I tend to click a different button. So sometimes it goes from straight video to some like time lapse or photos. So I had a great little thing where Clive caught his fish, thought he lost his fish, but I netted his fish, but I had it on bloody photo setting. So what happens when I got to take it off, and it's normally on my head like this. So I got to take it off and put it back on. When I put it back on, I'm accidentally pressing buttons, and I change the mode. So yeah, the video was okay, but there was a bit of good stuff that I cocked up. Some was going 100 mile an hour and some was taking pictures, but yeah, that's me. Sledge fishing, hello mate. Good day at Testwood. Yeah, it was great. Testwood is always brilliant. Yeah, it's a great venue. It's well stocked. Yeah, and there's plenty of fish around. John Evans, hello mate. Good Evans. What have we got? Good evening. Yeah, better if I put my glasses on. It's better. What have we got there? Have all the sets of Testwood stalkers gone? I'm just going to come to that. 2 left there. All right, there's 2 left there. I'm not going to take photographs and do write-ups and things like that and put them on the internet, because I had 16. There's 2 left. Richard Neville's he's got 1 tomorrow, but I've got his put aside. What about all the tests were sort of, if not, can I have another set as Jessica's commandeered? No problem at all, mate. Well, 2 sets, Come on, do the decent thing, have the 2. Any recommendations for accommodation when you are fishing at Rockborne? Yes, yes. We stay in the Greyhound, which is a pub stroke restaurant, and that's about 20 minutes out, and it's great. There's a 200-yard walk to another pub, which is great, and it's brilliant in the summer. They've got a big outdoor garden, they have barbecues, there's an outdoor bar, they have bands and things like that. It'll come to me now what that one is. Pembroke Arms. That big one's a Pembroke Arms, the other one is the Greyhound, and that's in, I want to say Alresford, but that's not right, because that's where they have the Watercress Festival. It's in Wilton. I was just thinking, they make carpets? So it's in Wilton. We stay in the Greyhound at Wilton, which is 20 minutes away. There's some rooms there. They have a fantastic restaurant. Stunning, stunning. I had some whitebait. I love the taste of whitebait. Well, these were like, I'm not joking, these whitebait were that big, guys, honestly. And we had them on the Friday night, we stayed 2 nights, and I was eating them again all day on Saturday. Wow, they were whitebait, they were wonderful, and I love them, but like, I had like that many to start, but wow, I could taste them for 24 hours. But yeah, they were lovely, but they have a brilliant restaurant there. So that's a Greyhound in Wilton, or if you can get in there, Pembroke Arms. Even when we're in the Greyhound in Wilton, we walk down to the Pembroke Arms. They've got a big undercover sitting area, and then there's like a little wall, and you go through in this big garden area. So yeah, so that's where you want to go for Rockborne. Yeah, there's a couple of places closer, but it's really nice. So you've got where you stay in, and it's a pub and a restaurant, or 200-yard walk to the Pembroke Arms. So that's that. My little Bonnie, hi. My little boy, honey, hi. I'm Mary. Hello, Martin. Say hi, say hi, say hi. No idea what all that is, guys. John Evans, okay, Martin, I will take the 2 sets. Here we are then, mate. 20 quid for you, mate. Alright, 11 quid, 20 quid for you for the 2 sets, mate. Make sure the missus doesn't pinch another set now, mate, okay? Mark II versions will be starting soon. Well, I'm going to do more of those, because every one of those is killers. Peter was on the big golden perch. I was on the black and gold and the copper bits and pieces. Yeah, good, it was good. So yeah, Testwood, we had 8. Bit of a cock up with the booking, but we had 8, but it was okay. 8's plenty there. I thought 6 was the limit, but I think 6 is the minimum you can actually book the whole place. Well, if you book 6, that's it, the place is yours. So I think it'll take more than that, but yeah, I'm sure Nigel will confirm with that. Right, sledge fishing, any blue dumbbells flash coming? Blue dumbbell eye flash coming through. Right, doesn't look a lot in here, does it? Right, I've started, guys. This week, blue dumbbell eyes with the peacock through the middle. Okay, the red twin-eyed damsel, medium dumbbell damsels. These have all been varnished, all ready to go. Medium dumbbells with the blue for the black damsel, sharp and all, and the same again in the small. Lots of those. So they're happening. Whether I'll get those done for the weekend, some of them will be. All right, some of them will be. But just looking there alone is 200, not 200, 200. But I got more to finish as well. So sledge, they are coming through, my friend. They are coming through. For what I've done today, I've been busy today as well. I'm working on the bugs. So there's the little olive. Here's your bug. These are all tail on, guys, okay? Bodies I'll start. I'm going to start the bodies tomorrow. There's the black haze bug. There's the biggest of the green haze bug. There's the golden brown haze bug, so they're all good quantities in there. So yeah guys, they are happening as well. So yeah, I know you've been waiting patiently, thanks for that mate, a couple of you are, but they are on the go. That was like wasted all day yesterday just putting dumbbells on, nothing else. Haze bugs I done today, so tomorrow I got another 2 lots of haze bugs to do, like a natural grey and then a bad sort of natural grey. Then I can start putting bodies on. What's that, Wednesday? I think I'll get perhaps then to damsels, but because they're not going to be ready for another 3 days, the bugs, because some of them have eyes painted on, so that's a sort of 2-day process. All right, so but hopefully get to the dumbbell damsels. We'll definitely by, I got Thursday, Friday I'll be at the funeral, so Thursday, and then I've got the weekend, Saturday, Sunday as well. So yeah, we'll I'll be working on those right through. I've got to do more of the blue ones. I got plenty of blue eyes now anyway, plenty of the blue eyes. So yeah, so they are on the way, mate. Yeah, Testwood. So we had a crew of 8, good crew. Me, Peter, Paul, Clive, Gizzer, Alan, Mark Osborne, Candy's finest, and Grandad Chris. So yeah, good dude. Yeah, it was lovely down there. Like some of those little cats. One of the cats there, I haven't got it on the video. I've got a video of it, but not on the video. One of those cats there had 5 black kittens in a plant pot. I would have had them all, me with my sort of love for the cats. I got 3, haven't I? But I would have had them all. But yeah, and then the swans had loads of babies. The geese had some babies. There were still those goaty sheepy things with babies. So yeah, it was lovely down there, lovely. So it was good. Richard Neville, evening mate. Richard Neville. So yeah, Testwood was good. Yeah, so the wind was blowing from the house right down into that narrow corner, and it was cold, right? I had shorts on. I was going to wear just a t-shirt. I came out here about 4:30 in the morning before we went, put some food on the bird tail. It's a bit cold. I put a fleece on. Yeah, like a thin, one of those thin thermal fleeces. Good job I did, because till about 10 o'clock it was like really cold, and they were saying on the bottom end in that corner it was like 10 degrees colder, because there's a few trees here and it's all in the shade, you know. So but the wind was blowing into that corner, and a couple of people said they saw quite a few fish, but there was a bit of a chop on. I suppose it was nice if you was chucking out and pulling, but if you were stalking, you know, sometimes you can't see through chop, and it's very difficult. And the fish were down a little bit, whether it was because of the sort of slightly cold winds, bright sunshine, the fish, some were up, you know, later on, but they were down, so you was looking for dark shadows going across, you know. You couldn't see like that, you had to study, and you had to watch until it calmed off. Then about probably 11 o'clock went calm then, and then you saw lots of fish. I saw regular, sometimes 6 fish or 10 fish going past in like little groups, little shoals. These are all double figure fish. Guys, on that video, I think it's on 29 minutes, you see me flicking my fly and getting really excited about one fish. And Nigel said a really big fish went in, who he called Mavis. It was by far the biggest fish I've ever seen at Testwood. You can't tell, you know, in that thing, but I shouted across to the boys. I think I saw that big fish, but it was like that wide. It had a big head, like one of those foreign carp, and it went past, but it didn't look at the fly. Didn't look at the fly, and I was close. You know, you have a look at it about 29 minutes, and the fly's landing, you know, really close to it. He didn't even, you know, sometimes, I always like, you see that little flick of the tail as the fish darts towards you. You think he's having that, you know, but no, and I never saw him again. I don't know if anybody, no one got as excited as I did, you know, no one got excited. So there was other big fish in there as well. Fish on the day were between about 10 and just under 16. A couple of personal bests, £15 something, I think Grandad Chris had, but there was a few 14s and 15s, so lovely fish. So yeah, so I started off at the house end in the right hand bay there, and I saw fish out. There was nothing much in, but I saw some fish out, so I was chucking out a big perch. I had the odd follow, nothing much in. Then I think it was a copper and orange on, and I had fish follow and follow. So that was going to be like one of my questions really. I had follows but no takes. None at all there. And I probably fished here way too long, for probably half an hour, because I saw a few fish. But they were following, like, because the fly's bright, even at 10 yards I can see it. Fish were following, but I didn't even have any takes at all. I could see them, and then like Mark Osborne behind me's catching, and Alan on the point's catching, and everybody's had a fish in the bay down there. But yeah, I was getting followed, but no takes. And then, let me think then, when did I have? I done a lap again. I come back around to that sort of bank again, just not quite that far, and I put a golden red mirage on, chucked it out. I did see a fish, and then I seen him move out, so I think he was probably had one little pluck, and then next chuck, I had a lovely fish there, about £12, £11, perhaps £12. Yeah, so it's nice to get one in the bag before we went for drinks and cakes and sandwiches and crisps and sausages, so a little standard breakfast for us. And yeah, so yeah, that was good. And then as it calmed off, then you could see more fish. And then yeah, it was good. There's some good fish caught. Peter, I think, had all 4 of his fish on that big peacock, that one there, with the 4.5 mil. He had all those. I think, did I catch on one of those? I think I had 3 fish. I didn't go to the 4, so I paid for my 3. I think I had 2 on black and gold and 1 on gold with the orange body. So like that copper, but gold, orange body. So I think it was the first fish I caught on. Yeah, so when it calmed off, the best place was the road bank, literally just before the fish move into the bay. So I guess, you've got the main lake and it narrows end, doesn't it, before it goes into the bay. So they were doing their route, they were coming in, go up and come back down, so it was a lot of fish on the entrance to the narrow bay, which is always a good spot anyway, but yeah, always a good spot there, mate. Always a good. It's your boy Max. Say hi. South Wales we are in, yeah. Hi Martin, I'm in Cornwall. Where are you? Well, I say I'm in South Wales here. John Evans, okay Martin, I will take the 2 sets. Yeah, Blue Damsels, we're coming. Right, okay, we're up to speed there. Yeah, so 8 of us, everybody had their limit of 3. The Grandad Chris had an extra 2, Peter had an extra 1, Paul had an extra 1, Gizzer and Alan, I think, had an extra 1. So yeah, a lot of fish caught. What's 3, 8 to 24, 25, 26, 30 fish, is it? Yeah, so yeah, 30 fish, so all good fish. So that was good. Yeah, Testwood was really good. Let me think, we left about 12, I think, and Pete said, should we go in the Chepstow Garden Centre on the way back? They got real nice butchers, so I bought a 2 pound in weight tomahawk steak, and done that for tea with my son and daughter Mikey and Amelia on Sunday. That was good, that was really good. So no, Testwood good, Testwood is good. So my next trip is Testwood, June the 21st, and that's my 3 for the year anyway. so my wallet will go to that one, I think, anyway. So yeah, that's my third for the year, and then nothing booked for July yet. Yeah, I don't know what to do in July yet. I think sort of July and August is a month I always, or quite often, don't book too much in advance, just in case it is 30 degrees. You know, it'd be nice if it was 20, but if it's 30 degrees, it can be tough, can't it? You know, it can be tough. You need to get a couple of fish early and, yeah, be back to your digs by 12 o'clock having a cold beer, you know. So we'll see how it goes anyway, but if it's not boiling, could be Rockborne, Manningford, I don't know, got a bit of choice, haven't we, Abingdon. So, yeah, so no, good. Testwood was good. So I said about my GoPro settings, didn't I? Yeah, so, yeah, that's and someone asked what GoPro have I got. It's a GoPro Hero 12. There's the GoPro there, look. So when I change the battery, that flicks off. Look, I take that out. When you click one in, bleep, and then when I put it back on, I'm pressing the button here. So yeah, I had a bit of footage I would have liked to have got on. It was, yeah, it was some bit of good stuff. But yeah, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. So yeah, and spare batteries for this, and then you can get lots of different things. Well, as you all know, you can get headbands, you can get chest packs as well, you know. So yeah, probably the chest pack's a little bit more stable, but I thought what I found with the chest pack, because it's lower down, you know, you don't get that something better view. So I think I've been going back to the head strap lately, because especially in some of the Testwood videos, you know, you can see the bright fly flashing a couple of yards out, and you can see a couple of fish then following, you know. So yeah, that's good. But yeah, that fish on 29 minutes in that video was a big fish. It was by far the biggest fish I've ever seen. They're all big fish, and it's difficult. I can't tell, like in the water, how big they are. You know, sometimes you can, because they're a little bit longer. But when you think everything's £10, you know, everything's £10 plus. But then when you see one a bit longer, you know, look, that's probably that 15. You know, so telling the difference between the 10, 11, 12, 13, I can't tell anyway. But when I saw that fish, I thought, wow, it was bad. I dropped my net. If you have a look at the fly, it's landed in front of him. You know, sometimes a plot will attract him, but no, it didn't. It didn't. It didn't. But no, a good trip. Good trip. Yeah, on my notes here, guys, just a few things. Yeah, Andy's funeral now is on Friday at 11:30. Okay, so yeah, that's down in Andover. So yeah, that's that, guys. Let me have a little look here. Someone said anything on Diva update. Nothing whatsoever. Does anybody know anybody who's been there? I don't. When me and Pete go down there, we normally drive down to the gate, you know, because if you go to Testwood, it's that way. Diva's 200 yards down there, isn't it? And so, yeah, no, nothing at all. I don't know anybody's got it. Corporate book day tickets. Do you think they might go back to day tickets if the corporate thing doesn't work? Might they go back to day tickets? You know? Don't know, guys. Don't know. Someone said the bigger flies mean bigger fish. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think sometimes if you fish, and I've seen it proven, a black snake, you know, a big black snake. I tend to tie little mini ones, about 60mm, which is nice. I think on the Manningford video I had a very plain one on, 60mm, and I got this little 65 olive on at Diva a couple of years ago. And then, but I think the standard, my biggest one I think is about 80 or 90. I do them black and gold, like humongous for Paul, and he'll have 20 off the start of the season, normally through the winter when Let's Lake is open, because yeah, it's a fly to use, isn't it? But I think when you can use them, I think something like that, the big snake will catch bigger fish. It'll still take the smaller fish, and you know, I think we've had the conversation before, haven't we, about fishing for those big browns at Avington, and yeah, people were saying that they still favour small and natural patterns for those. Where was it? Yeah, still favour the small natural patterns for the big browns. And Ian, he's a little guy fishes this, really short. He was at Avington on Saturday. He was down for the weekend. I think he fished a bit of a test one day, and then Avington. They had a couple of rainbows and lost a big brown, and then not sure if he landed one, but the big one, like £15 plus, he said took a dry fly off the top. Yeah, so bogus. My neighbour is mad at his wife for sunbathing nude. I'm on the fence. I don't think we really need to speak to that guy again, do we? But there we are. So yeah, so I don't think, yeah, you can catch small fish, on big snakes and big fish, and the little flies. I think Luke's proved it on the river. Yeah, all those, big browns they're catching 3, 4, 5 pounds sometimes. They're using tiny little. They're looking for the big fish that are just coming up sipping, and tiny. I've seen a little tiny little full-in mill at the mergers, and that's what they take. The big browns on the river there. So yeah, so I don't think there's a definite yes or no, but I think if you had big fish in the water and browns in the water, big black snake, if you can use them. Letley was great. I think on one of my videos I used to use a pink snake there, didn't I? So but yeah, there's a nice smell coming over the garden there. I was cooking some onions then. So yeah, so I don't think there's a definite to that question, big flies, big fish, apart from snakes when you can use them. Yeah, and someone says hot weather conditions, they can be tough, they can be tough on small still waters, fish can be in slightly poor conditions and white marks on them, and when the water's warm, fish don't want to chase. Sometimes they can get a little bit of algae in the water as well. So I think if you're fishing still waters and it's warm, if you can, if they've got some aerators, fish by those, because when there's like the ones that are on Rockborne, lots of fish will be there. If you've got a few, shaded areas, head for those. But yeah, hot weather conditions. Rainbow trout like cold water, don't they? So, that's why I think some of the still waters in the UK have suffered and closed down and moved to carp. It's much easier to put coarse fish in the still waters because they don't mind the warm water, and it's much easier to maintain, whereas putting trout into warm water is difficult in the summer, real difficult. So yeah, just be careful with hot weather conditions. Perhaps check the fishery first. I think on that one they're always honest enough, aren't they, and they let you know what it's like. I know with the catch and release at Rockborne on the 3 lakes to the left, they stop the catch and release in the summer. You don't want to play a fish in warm water. It's been stressed out, put it back, it's going to go belly up, isn't it? So yeah, it's going to go belly up. So they only open up the catch and release in the colder months, which is spot on, isn't it? Spot on, guys. Yeah, so what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, someone asked about large arbor reels and metal reels and prices of spools. This is the original Hardy DD. They're all the same now, they've just changed in colour. I've got these in silver, black, the new model. But someone said, the price of, if that's a 300 quid reel, well, the spools are expensive. What you got to remember with all reels, guys, is the spool is half the reel. So it's not like the plastic cartridges which you'll buy for a £5 or even a tenner on the Hardy Demon, but you know, so that's a Hardy reel. There's more material in the spool than there is in the back plate. Alright, so that's why any all metal reel, you know, prepared to pay about half price for a spare spool. Alright, so yeah, if that's a 300 quid reel, that spool's 150 quid, simple as. And I suppose regardless of brand, really, yeah. Nice large arbor reel, see there, look, large arbor, so you can see the orange backing, and then I've got orange backing onto an orange running liner on this one. This is a 40 plus with a die 3 head, so that hasn't been used for a couple of years, I guess now, because it's only a line that I use, excuse me, at chuck in at Let's Lade in the winter for big flies, a quicker sink and a bit of extra distance. With that heavier die 3 head, you know, you can get further distances than I can with my intermediate. So, but I haven't used that line now for a couple of seasons, I expect, so you know, it'd be something I couldn't see me using around the fisheries I fish at the moment, you know, until and I wouldn't even use it at places like, say, Avington in the winter, because I can get down with an intermediate then, you know. So yeah, so there we are. What else did someone mention? Priests, staghorn priests, and lanyards, and stringers, as you well. That's my favourite. If you're going to have a priest, have a big one. There's not too big, and have a heavy one as well, because you don't want them light, you know. So this is a beast. So Neil Perry makes all these, all of them. That's the one I always use. That's another one I found in a drawer. He made me as a gift, I think, for some flies. But look, guys, and this is the one with the brass head. And I think when we was at Rockborne once, I think he gave his to young Tom, I got a feeling, because he didn't used to do them with a brass head, and then when people saw it, they all wanted them. So this feels even heavier again. This one I haven't even used, but that's heavier again. Up, and there's another one as well. Shorter one. I prefer these a little bit longer. Some people like these, but where he grinds off a bit of the bone there, look, you got the little flies, guys. So yeah, guys, if you've got everything like me fishing wise, you know, get Neil to make you one of these. Now, he's always making me little bits and pieces. I've got cheese knives, bottle corks, pizza slicers, like a little set of 3, like butter knife, little knife, and like a little fork for like your pickles and things. Yeah, so fair play, whatever you want, he will do you a set. And then stringers. I carry 2 on me, you know, because if you're on, you know, if you're down at Rockborne and you caught a nice fish at Longacre, pegging down, put him in the water, and then if you walk back up, you know, or if you caught with an alder, put it there. You can walk down to walk down to Longacre, and then use your other one. Collect them all up at the end of the day. No one's pinching them, are they? So yeah, this is the one that Ross Huey had made for me. Little badge there, little plaque, little bullet head there as well. So yeah, but Neil will do you these as well. Stick them in the ground, keep your fish nice and cool. That's the very first one he made me there. Yeah, I went to the garage, I found another one as well. There's another one there, with fish on as well. So yeah, if you want, guys, if you want something different, get in contact with our man, Neil Perry. All right. Sledge fly fishing. Anyone been to John O'Goats? No, I've never been. I've never been there, and I didn't even know where it was. I think it's down by where the Orvis shop is. Is that Fording Bridge? I think it is, isn't it? Yes, down that way, isn't it? Never been there. I've been trying to get hold of them, but with no luck. Not a big fishery, but sounds good. Someone went there. I think it was early this year. One of my regulars. They had a sort of, I think, a 2 or 3 day trip. They were going to do Avington one day, John O'Goats, and then Rockborne, I think. And they all had plenty of fish. I think Buzzers Indicators was was good. So yeah, but I've never been there. No, wouldn't. I don't know how you've been trying to get hold of them. Have you been phoning them or emailing them? Normally they go back to emails them, like normally. Keep trying. If you go down, let us know. What else do we have there? Fly-wise. No, we're okay there, fly-wise. And then, excuse me for sniffling, guys, you know me with my allergies and hay fevers. And I found myself snorting lots on the last video as well. There we are. I took a tablet in the morning as well. Perhaps I got an allergy to goose shit or sheep shit. No, perhaps, I don't know, because it was worse down there. But there we are. Heavier or light rods and lines, you know, is there much difference? I don't swap around a lot. I probably got 100 rods, you know, because you've got some for beach casting and you 3 or 4. Boat fishing, you've got up tiders, 12 pound class, 20, 30, 50, you know, for wreck fishing. Carp rod 6, feeder rod 6, float rods a few, you know, it's a spinning rods more than that, you know, so lots of rods. But I'm not a one for swapping around much with my fly rods. My original Hardy 9.5, 7 weight Hardy Syntrex. It was the first one to come out, the Zenith. I got a couple of those, and I got Wraiths, and I got quite a few. But I don't swap around that much. But yeah, they're very, very light, and they're very, very stiff. So if I want to cast a long line, I can, but I still have great fun when playing a fish. All right? So I know some people like to use lighter rods for stalking, you know, at close range, you know, like a 7 or 8 foot 4 or 5 weight. That's great for stalking, but great if you're flicking a fly, even a heavy one like that. But you couldn't overhead cast a big fly like that. You'd really struggle, you know, and you've got to be careful when you're doing that anyway, because if that comes back and dinks the tip of your rod, yeah, it could break. Well, on one of our trips, probably the last trip to Rockborne I'd done, Jeff was playing a fish in the bay there on Alder, and he's got a rod, a sage rod there, £1,000. He snapped the tip of that and probably got hit by a fly at some stage. I think the tackle shop sorted it out, because sage have got to go back to guide, who then send it back to America to match a tip up, and you've got to send the next section down as well to make sure that fits over that, you know. So, but that was done. But yeah, but no, I'm not a one for swapping on. I would have thought perhaps a 6 would be an ideal or still water rod, perhaps a 9 foot 6 weight. I've got one of those too, a Zephyrus, and another one of those reels with I think I've got a 6 weight Rio Gold or Grand on that, but that rod hasn't been used for 3 or 4 years, and that's the first Zephyrus to come out there. That was on I think the 440 carbon blank as well, but lovely rods. But yeah, Who we got there? Grandad Chris. Hello, mate. Joining in late. Thanks for a brilliant day on Saturday. Mate, you had a bag full of fish, didn't you, mate? You had 5 fish. So you had a tiddler about £11, didn't you, I think? 2 13s, 26, 14 and a 16. £67-ish of fish. God, I expect you're still getting those now, mate, or filleting those now. So, yeah, mate, great day. Yeah, good day. Chris was there and he was fishing by the side of me on the entrance to the bay. And Chris likes to use the indicator method quite a lot. And he tried it when those fish were going into the bay. And he had a fly on various depths, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot even, and his indicator was literally on the channel of the bay before it goes into the narrow bay. His indicator was sat out in the middle. Fish must have been going past it. No, he didn't have any luck on that. Yeah, didn't have any luck on that. Grandad, most of it has gone now. Good causes. Yeah, someone collected mine on the Sunday. Liz, she comes down and has all the trout off me. Hello, Ben. Where have you been sleeping? In the bushes? He's on the roll now. Yeah, he's covered in bits and sticks. Yeah, so no, it was a good day. It was a good day. There was one funny spot when Alan was there. I'd fish in the bay on the top bank, and I'm talking to Paul. I think I just netted a fish for Paul, and then Paul's telling me about his trip to Montenegro with Sasha, and he said it was great. It was great value, and I think he paid £74 for the flight. Now, I think he paid £74 for the flight, and I think he paid, I can't remember, what did he say? He paid like, was it 300 quid for something like 3 nights accommodation and the boat charter fee as well? 4 of them on the boat. Wow, that's so, Ben, little sticks on you. That is so cheap. So he's had, was it? Yeah, like 400 quid. And he's had a hell of a trip. So yeah, someone asked about that earlier. Where did Paul go? Because I think they could hear Paul talking about the price, you know, and the flight and everything. Right, Ben, you gonna go down on there? Good boy. So yeah. So anyway, I'm talking to Paul in that bay now, and I must be just looking, I don't know, perhaps out into the field. Alan comes behind me, chucks in, wallop, and does me dirty, and pinches a fish. It was really funny, so I sent him a picture this morning. Yeah, so that was real cool. I looked, well, what's that splashing? He's into a fish. Robber. Another thing we'll remember as well, all those little, horn catapults. I know, I think a lot of the travelling community people get them off him, but he even does those little all bone catapults as well, which is stunning, absolutely stunning. Yeah. So no, Testwood was good. Yeah, Testwood was good. So yeah, I think we've covered most on that, guys. Nothing on Diva. It's a lovely smell. I tell you what, tonight I had chicken kebabs I done on the barbecue with peppers and onions on kebabs in wraps overnight. The wife had that honey and chilli one, which is quite mild and flavour, and I had chikalika bam bam, which is really spicy, so it was lovely. Singed some peppers. I had a bit of the white sauce that you have for the lamb dishes or the pork souvlaki, and a bit of barbecue wraps. And get the extra large wraps, because like one of those is enough. You get the standard ones, and like you want to be in 2, don't you? Yeah, but yeah, so no, that was good. Ben, come here. Grandad Chris, have your knees thawed out yet? Just about. Give me some love, Ben. just about. Yeah, by 10 o'clock, yeah. What if I'd have turned up without the fleece, you know? I'd have been absolutely froze to the bone. I was cold with the thin fleece on, you know? Mike, there we are. John O'Groats Fishery, and Ben, where's my glasses? Sat in my butt. Right, John O'Groats Fishery near King Somborn. Take the A3057 next to the White Hart. I know the White Hart at Stockbridge. I stay there. That's yeah, at Stockbridge. Not Fordingbridge, Stockbridge. Yeah, haven't fished it for many years, but was well stocked. Yeah, I get the feeling it's another well stocked fishery. I don't think it's known for having lots of big fish, but a few big fish, you know. So yeah, no, so yeah, I don't hear about it so much now. I suppose if I went on their Facebook perhaps and join, subscribe, then I'll see what's happening. Might be something to look at, you know. Yeah, might be something to look at. Yeah, good. Yeah, Ben, you're in grey, Ben. Got grey ones, grey ears. Yeah, so no, that might be worth a look. Yeah, John O'Groats. Fly wise at Testwood. Generally gold. Paul was on a gold mirage, you know. I think I caught on a couple on black and gold. Peter was on the perch, which is gold head, and the tail is a mixture of the gold, green and sort of reds. It's a lovely colour, that. Lovely long cast pattern, and a really nice giant sparkle as well. Yeah, that'd be good when they're fishing Test, perhaps on a intermediate line and a giant sparkler. Wow, I bet you get to follow every cast. Yeah, so no, good trip. So next now is about a month. That's again Testwood. June the 21st. Yeah, June the 21st. Ben, come and sit down there, boy. Yeah. So then nothing booked afterwards, so I'll get something sorted out, guys. Yeah, so fly-wise this week, finish those bugs, 5 or 6 sets. Come on then, 5 or 6 sets. Come on. You coming up? Come on. 5 or 6 sets of those different colour bugs. Oh, I did look as well. I'm always so busy. The bug section is terrible. So I need to, and I think I get that section pretty good in a really full week. And I mean bugs, I mean the when all else fails, the couple of the gator bugs. There's some on there, a couple of the gator bugs. The elk hair bugs is great. And then all the little various size of like little pearly daddies, stalking daddies, mayflies, pheasant tails. That was always a good section, but yeah, because I've been on other stuff, you know. Some of the other sections, yeah, I can't tie them all. Some of the other sections go downhill, you know. But yeah, so that's what I'd like to get started soon. I've got to do buzzers soon as well. I did do some buzzers the other day for Paul, and they were tying lovely. You know, sometimes you think, oh, I gotta do those, but I had to do Paul some black mirage buzzers, 40 of them, and I took them Saturday to Testwood. But yeah, they tied lovely, and that's like his go-to buzzer. He has a walk around. I think it's not far from Letchlade, one of the lakes up there. Farmore, yeah, Farmore I think it is. And I think he's had 40 or 50 fish on a catch and release. He'll fish 2 or 3 buzzers under an indicator. And it was quiet there on the weekend. I think the weather, or that bright sun and wind, put him down. But yeah, that's a deadly method there. And I think it's cheap as chips. You can have something like a 2 fish ticket, catch and release, for like 20, 30 quid, something like that, you know. Grandad Chris, my video went live this morning. Oh, well done, there we are. So guys, if you want to see Grandad Chris catching loads of big fish, they'll be on Grandad Chris's YouTube channel. Yeah, that should be good. What time did you get there, Chris, in the morning? I think Nigel said someone got there like really early. Was that you? Like 6 o'clock? What time did you leave? I don't know. We got there about 7:15, didn't we? We got there about 7:15. I don't know what time you got there, but someone was crazy early. I don't know who that was. Perhaps it was Mark Osborne, perhaps. Yeah, perhaps it was Mark Osborne. Yeah, I can smell all flowers and pollen now. So yeah. So guys, yeah, I got a feeling that could be about it. So yeah, take a look at Grandad Chris's video. I went live this morning. I think I did see it pop up. I think you were stood there talking to the camera. It was me, my friend. Yeah. My trouble and strife kept me out of bed at 3:30. Mark got there after me. 3:30. Well, my alarm was set for 4:15. I always, even that early, have a shower. You got to freshen it. Like have a shower and brush your teeth, everything. But I just like to have a shower, even that early in the morning. Get in the shower. You know, if you try to have a strip wash or a bird bath, like it takes longer, doesn't it? So yeah, dive in the shower. Downstairs for about 4:30, feed the cat, put some bird food out. You know, Peter picks me up at 5 o'clock and he'll be there bang on the button, or 5:02. Yeah, so that was good. That was good. So guys, I think that's about it. I think well, I don't think tomorrow's weather's brilliant for us. There's a chance of rain, so whether I'll barbie tomorrow, but if the weather's good, I will certainly be barbieing the rest of the week. Don't know what to do yet. No, sport for choice. Yeah. So, guys, I think that could be about it. Early finish tonight. 52 minutes, guys. Any more? I think we're pretty good. I will see a lot of you, I guess, on Friday. Yes, 11:30 kickoff. All right. I've got to go and pick Nigel up from Testwood at about 11 o'clock, and he said it's 20 minutes from his place and over about 6 miles. So yeah, he reckons 11:10, but I couldn't leave it that late, you know. So yeah, I'll be there about 10 to, I expect. So plus side of that, I get to see if anybody's catching or what they're catching at Testwood. So I'll be at Testwood first on Friday morning, pick Nigel up, and I'll see quite a few of you Friday. I think the dress code is nice and bright, I think. So that'll be good. All right then, guys. So now it is Martyn Williams signing off. Have a good rest of the evening, guys. And I'll speak to you in a couple of days. Try and find out anything about Diva, guys. Someone must know. Someone must know if anything's happening. Neil must know, because Neil's mate is Peter Cockwell. Peter lives there. And he'll be at the funeral on Friday, won't he? So yeah, perhaps you'll have a chat to him. But yeah, if anybody can find out anything, guys, let us know. So I'm going to sign off now. And yeah, shorts on. My legs are getting cold now. I'll speak to you soon, guys. Okay? Thanks for tuning in, guys. Okay? Take care.